The email hit my inbox like a sucker punch to the gut, the subject line glaring in bold. Performance review update. My coffee mug slipped from my fingers, shattering on the linoleum floor of my cramped apartment kitchen. Hot liquid splashing across my bare feet. I didn't feel the burn at first. Adrenaline numbed everything but the rage boiling in my chest. Due to an administrative oversight in HR, your approved 15% raise has been flagged by legal for review. Effective immediately, it is on hold pending further investigation. Oversight. Flagged. I'd poured 3 years into Apex Innovations, coding through nights that blurred into dawns, turning their half-baked software into a multimillion-dollar patent machine. And now this. My hands shook as I scrolled down, the words blurring through hot tears I refused to let fall. At the bottom, a curt sign-off from Carla in HR. "We appreciate your patience." Patience. I wanted to scream, to hurl my laptop through the window. Instead, I sat there, heart hammering, the acrid smell of spilled coffee mixing with the faint mildew of my one-bedroom hellhole. This wasn't just money. It was my life, my escape from the debt choking me since Dad's funeral. Betrayal tasted like bile, sharp and unrelenting. I paced the room, the cheap carpet rough under my scalded feet, replaying every conversation with Marcus, my boss. "You're invaluable, Alex," he'd said last month in his glass-walled office, the city skyline mocking my naivety from 20 stories up. His smile had been all teeth, like a shark circling chum. We'd shaken hands on the raise. My reward for the algorithm that streamlined their royalty tracking system, saving them millions in disputes. But now, flagged by legal. I knew what that meant. Someone higher up had decided I wasn't worth it. Or worse, they were burying it to line their own pockets. My mind raced, denial creeping in like fog. Maybe it was a mistake. A glitch in the system I'd built myself. I fired off an email to Marcus, fingers flying. "What the hell is this? We agreed on the raise weeks ago." Send. Then to Carla. "Explain this oversight now." Send. The silence that followed was deafening, broken only by the distant wail of sirens on the street below. Humiliation burned in my throat. I'd bragged to my sister about finally affording a real vacation. Now I'd be scraping by on ramen again. By evening, resentment had festered into obsession. I skipped dinner, hunkering down at my desk, the glow of my dual monitors casting harsh shadows on the peeling wallpaper. I dug into the company's internal docs, using the backdoor access I'd left in the code. Nothing malicious, just a dev's insurance policy. There it was. The royalty clause in the patent agreement I drafted. If any employee contribution led to royalties exceeding $50 million without fair compensation, it triggered a mandatory payout audit. Mine had pushed us over $80 million last quarter. They'd known. Marcus had known. My pulse thundered in my ears as I pieced it together. The raise wasn't lost, it was stolen. To avoid the clause, they'd flagged it, betting I'd roll over like the loyal dog they thought I was. Heartbreak hit then, unexpected and raw. I trusted them. Apex wasn't just a job. It was my family after Mom bailed years ago. Now, it felt like another abandonment, colder than the winter draft seeping through the window. I called my best friend, Lena, voice cracking despite my efforts to steady it. "They screwed me over," I spat, sinking onto the couch, the springs groaning under my weight. She listened, her sighs crackling over the line. "Alex, don't do anything stupid. Talk to them first." Her words were sensible, but they ignited fresh anger. Stupid. I'd been the smart one, the one who fixed their messes. We talked for an hour, her voice a lifeline in the dim room lit only by the flickering streetlight outside. But as she hung up, doubt slithered in. What if I was wrong? Overreacting? The moral conflict gnawed at me. Revenge fantasies flashed, exposing them publicly, watching their stock tank. But guilt followed. People like Sarah in accounting had kids. A scandal could hurt innocence. I lay awake that night, the city's hum a constant buzz, staring at the water-stained ceiling. Cold resolve hardened in my chest by dawn. They wanted to play games. Fine. I trigger the clause myself. The next morning, the office buzzed with artificial energy. Keyboards clacking, coffee machines hissing, the fluorescent lights humming like angry bees. I nodded at colleagues, forcing a smile that felt like a grimace, my stomach churning with suppressed rage. Marcus called me into his office mid-morning, the glass door clicking shut behind me with finality. He leaned back in his ergonomic chair, tie loosened, looking every bit the harried exec. "Alex, about that email, it's a mix-up. Legal's being cautious with the new regs." His eyes darted to his screen, avoiding mine. Liar. I could smell his cologne, cloying and expensive, mingling with the faint scent of his lunch. Sushi, probably expensed. "Cautious," I echoed, voice steady but laced with ice. "Or convenient. My work hit $80 mil in royalties. That triggers the clause." He stiffened, fingers tapping the desk rhythmically. "Whoa, easy. No one's triggering anything. We'll sort the raise soon." The conversation dragged, his deflections building tension like a taut wire. I left fuming, resentment coiling tighter. In the bathroom mirror, my reflection stared back, eyes bloodshot, jaw clenched. This wasn't just about money anymore. It was personal. Lunch was a blur in the cafeteria. Plastic trays clattering, conversations overlapping in a din that grated on my nerves. I overheard Carla whispering to a coworker, "Yeah, Marcus said to hold it, budget cuts." My fork froze mid-air, heartbeat echoing in my ears. Confirmation. Betrayal solidified into obsession. Back at my desk, I started planning subtly. Small code tweaks to flag the royalties internally. Nothing traceable yet. Inner thoughts warred. This is justice, right? But fear whispered, what if they catch you? Jail. Ruin. I pushed it down, focusing on the screen's glow, the cursor blinking like a heartbeat. By afternoon, a meeting with the team heightened the suspense. Marcus praised my work publicly, his voice booming over the conference table's polished wood. "Alex's algorithm is gold." Claps echoed, but his glance my way held warning. I smiled back, cold resolve masking the storm inside. That night, alone in my apartment, the rain pattering against the window like accusatory fingers, I mapped it out. Step 1, gather proof. Days blurred into a slow burn of calculation. I feigned normalcy at work, laughing at jokes in the break room, the coffee's bitterness mirroring my mood. But inwardly, fantasies played out. Marcus's face crumpling as auditors descended. Guilt pricked, he had a family too. Was I becoming the monster? Doubt hit during a late-night call with my sister. "Alex, you're scaring me. Let it go." Her concern cracked my facade, heartbreak resurfacing. But resentment won. I hacked deeper, uncovering emails. Marcus to the CEO. "Delay Alex's raise, avoids clause payout." Proof. My hands trembled on the keyboard, the room's silence oppressive. Moral conflict raged. Revenge felt intoxicating, but at what cost? I slept fitfully, dreams of falling from the office tower haunting me. The turning point came in a quiet moment. Walking home through the bustling streets, horns blaring, pedestrians brushing past with umbrellas dripping, I spotted a chess set in a shop window. It was pawn checkmate. The idea crystallized. I'd play their game, but on my terms. Back home, the apartment's stale air heavy. I drafted an anonymous tip to the board, heart pounding. Subtle hints of vengeance emerged. Small glitches in the system, emails bouncing back to Marcus with cryptic errors. He cornered me the next day in the hallway. Fluorescent lights casting long shadows. Something wrong with the code. His tone was casual, but his eyes narrowed. "Not that I know," I replied evenly, suppressed rage simmering. Tension thickened. He knew something was off. I left work early, pulse racing, planning the next move. As weeks passed, obsession deepened. I lost weight, the mirror showing hollow cheeks, but resolve grew. A dinner with Lena revealed more layers. She confessed knowing about office politics. Marcus is under pressure from above. Her words stung, adding betrayal from a friend. Heartbreak layered on. Was everyone complicit? Inner doubt screamed, but I pushed forward, tweaking the code to auto-report royalties over threshold. The trigger was set. Guilt gnawed during quiet nights, rain lashing the windows, but cold resolve won. The retaliation loomed, undeniable now. Part 2, The Reckoning. The boardroom door swung open with a whoosh of conditioned air, and I stepped in, the carpet muffling my footsteps like a predator's prowl. Faces turned, Marcus at the head, sweat beading on his forehead under the harsh LED lights. Carla fidgeting with her pen. The CO Harlan, steely-eyed behind rimless glasses. The air smelled of fresh coffee and tension, thick as fog. "Alex, thanks for joining," Harlan said, voice smooth but edged. This was it, the clarification meeting after my anonymous tip hit their inboxes. My heart thundered, but outwardly I was calm, sliding into a leather chair that creaked softly. Inside, emotions warred. Fury at their gall, fear of exposure, guilt for the chaos I'd unleash. Let's cut the bullshit, I thought, but aloud. What's this about? Harlan leaned forward, elbows on the mahogany table. Your raise. And irregularities in the royalty reports. Irregularities. I'd made them blatant, forcing the clause into the open. Marcus jumped in, voice strained. Alex, if you've tampered with the system. I cut him off, voice steady despite the rage bubbling. Tampered. Built it. And per the patent agreement, my contributions hit $80 million. That triggers the royalty clause. Mandatory audit and payout. Silence fell, broken only by the distant hum of the HVAC. Carla shifted, her chair scraping faintly. We overlooked that. Overlooked. Humiliation from that first email resurfaced, hot and fresh. I fantasized this moment, watching them squirm. Now doubt flickered, was this too far? Harlan's eyes bored into mine. This could cost us dearly. Good, I thought, resentment overriding guilt. The dialogue escalated, revelations spilling. Marcus admitted pushing the delay to meet quarterly bonuses. It was business, Alex. Nothing personal. Nothing personal. Heartbreak twisted. 3 years of loyalty erased. As the meeting dragged, suspense built like a storm gathering. I played my hand carefully, revealing emails I'd found in the system. These show intent to suppress. Gasps echoed. Marcus paled, fingers drumming erratically. Inner conflict raged. Part of me wanted to stop, spare the fallout. But obsession drove me. This was justice. Harlan called a recess, the room emptying in a shuffle of papers and murmurs. Alone with Marcus in the hallway, fluorescent bulbs buzzing overhead. He grabbed my arm. Please, Alex. My job, my family. His plea cracked, revealing his own desperation. Moral grayness hit. He wasn't evil, just greedy. Suppressed rage boiled over. You should have thought of that before screwing me. I shook him off, heart pounding, fear mingling with resolve. Back in the boardroom, the air heavier now. Harlan returned with auditors on speakerphone, voices tinny and authoritative. The clause is active. Payout estimated at $80 million in liabilities. Chaos erupted, shouts, denials. I sat back, watching the unraveling, a cold thrill coursing through me. But guilt surfaced as Carla whispered, tears in her eyes. This hurts everyone. Layered emotions collided. Satisfaction tainted by remorse. The seer turned to me, face ashen. What do you want? Poetic justice. My raise. Backdated. And equity. Negotiations blurred. Tension peaking as numbers flew. Inner thoughts screamed. You've won, but at what price? The twist came that evening in my apartment, the city lights twinkling mockingly through the rain-streaked window. An email from an unknown sender. Well played. But watch your back. Attached, proof of my code tweaks. Harlan. Marcus. Heartbreak morphed into paranoia. Revenge had consequences. I paced, the floor creaking, obsession shifting to survival. A knock at the door jolted me. Lena, soaked from the storm. Alex, what have you done? She'd pieced it together from office gossip. Our conversation unfolded in hushed tones, rain drumming outside. I had to, I confessed, voice breaking. She hugged me, but her eyes held judgment. Moral conflict peaked. Was I the villain now? Days later, the payout hit headlines. Apex stock plummeted, layoffs loomed. I got my raise, but isolation followed. Colleagues whispered, avoiding my gaze in the halls. Guilt consumed quiet moments, fantasies of undoing it all. At a bar with Lena, dim lights casting shadows, she revealed her motive. I tipped you off subtly. Hated seeing you hurt. Betrayal layered, friend or manipulator. Tension resolved in a shocking call from Harlan. You're promoted. But remember, corporate checkmate cuts both ways. The twist? I'd triggered my own trap, now indebted to the system I'd gamed. In the end, revenge tasted bittersweet, a cold resolve settling as I stared at the chessboard I'd bought. The pieces aligned, but the game never truly ended. Heartbreak lingered. Obsession faded to weary acceptance. Justice. Or just another move in an endless board.